Today I'm challenging myself to build the cutest camper van house I can in Bloxburg. I actually hate camping, but you know what I do love? Cute camper vans, so I'm gonna try to build one. There is two ways we can go on about building this. I can torture myself and build all of this out of basic shapes, or I can use some regular walls to make my life a lot easier. We all know I suck with basic shapes, so we're definitely going to do option 2. Now I want the size of this to be just right. We need it to be big enough to fit a bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, but not too big enough that it makes it look unrealistic. This is my first time ever building a van, but what I've seen people do is use basic shapes for the front. I need to recreate that bump out that cars usually have, and I'm using this convex shape to kind of do that. Hopefully it actually turns out good and stops looking like whatever this is. I saw this camper van on Pinterest and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen, so my camper van better look as cute as that one. I just know that if I had a cute camper van, I would probably get over my fear of camping. Camping is just so scary to me. Like, why are you out in the wild alone where all the scary movies always take place? I just don't want to be having a good time and then coming out of my tent to see Jason standing there with a knife waiting to murder me. I think I'd much rather spend my summer by the beach in a nice hotel than go out camping. The good thing about using regular walls for this build is that adding doors and windows is not going to be as complicated as it would be if I had built this out of basic shapes. For the color scheme, I know that I definitely want a cute pink and white little van. So I think that's exactly what I'm gonna go for this. I want to make this as cozy as possible, so I'm also going to keep some brown tones. I actually don't like the windows that camper vans usually have. I feel like they always look too plain, so I'm gonna try to do something a little bit more different. This might make our camper van look a little bit unrealistic, but I feel that if I'm gonna spend so much time in this camper van, I wanted to make it feel like an actual house and not like a prison. I also saw this image on Pinterest and now I am influenced to add some plants to my windows as well to make them much cuter. So far I'm loving this. I feel like I would actually just live here full time now. But moving on to our roof situation, this might be a little bit more complicated. I do want to use the regular roof tool, but before I do that, I want to use some basic shapes to make the roof look a little bit curved in some of the edges. So what I was thinking is that we can use the convex shape again and resize it to the size of the van. And then we can use a transform tool to easily lift that up into the roof. Then we can just copy and paste that work and do the same thing on the back of the van. Now that you have those two placed correctly, you can get to decide if you want to continue the roof out of basic shapes or use the regular roofing tool, which is a bit less pricey. I actually wonder how much money this build is going to end up being by the end of this video. I did try to avoid using too many basic shapes so it wouldn't be that expensive, but you never really know, I might actually be poor after this video. I want to give our camper van a little bit of shade, so I was thinking of adding a little awning here to do that. A lot of camper vans actually have these retractable awnings that they use to have some shade. They're usually much bigger than this, but this is what we have in Bloxburg. Although for some reason, I feel like that awning kind of makes our camper van kind of look like a moving flower shop or one of those food trucks. Now moving on to the inside of our camper van, we're gonna have to be very careful with the way we place things because our space is very limited. Actually, this might be the smallest build I've done in my channel so far. I've done a lot of cool challenges on my channel before, but I don't think I've done a small house yet. Maybe I should try to do that for next week's video. It would sure be a lot of fun. I'm actually kind of late to this trend of building camper vans in Bloxburg. Like 3 years late. But it's fine, I'm here now. I'm always kind of late to everything anyways. I'm thinking our bathroom should go right here. I'm going to make it 1 block wide. I know that's really small for a bathroom, but we need to leave space for the kitchen and the bed, which take up the most space. Instead of a door, I'm gonna add this arched opening, and then we can fit our little toilet on this side of the wall, and on the other side we can add our shower head. And if we add a little inset right here, that can give me some space to add some shampoo, conditioner, and some soap. Since we don't have a door, I'm thinking of adding these curtains to have a little bit of privacy in there. You can just close them whenever you're going to go take a shower or if you're going to go use the toilet. Now we need to add all of our bathroom essentials, everything that we could possibly need while traveling. I always forget to add toilet paper, so I should probably add that before I forget again. Oh yeah, we also need towels. I almost forgot that too. I'm gonna also add a little shelf at the top so we have more space for more storage in here. From watching a lot of camper van renovation videos, I have learned that having a lot of storage space is very necessary. And there we have our very tiny 1-block van bathroom. Which means it's time to move on to our kitchen area, which is gonna go right here. This generally has to be the smallest kitchen ever because we need to leave space for our bed. We're gonna be using a stovetop right there because I don't even think we can fit a regular stove. We probably won't even be able to fit a regular fridge in here if I'm being honest. I was thinking that if I add a bunch of shelves on this wall, that maybe we can fit some of our appliances in here. Like our microwave can go at the bottom shelf here. And maybe we can add some of our cups and mugs on the second shelf. We can add a little pantry on this side of the kitchen. Or maybe we could even pretend that this is a little closet space for our bedroom. And finally, our mini fridge can actually go on this little corner of our kitchen. And we can color it to kind of blend in with the counters. I actually really ended up liking this kitchen despite it being so small. Now for our bed situation, I kind of want to have some storage under our bed and have a little lifted bed. So that's why I'm adding these little cabinets. And this is where we can store all our books, all our blankets, all that stuff we don't want just laying around there. And with the basic shape, I added this little platform for our actual bed. We're gonna use a sleeping bag because the other beds are a little too big to do this. And we can just add some pillows and blankets to make this bed look a lot more cozier. That definitely did the trick. Our bed looks so much cozier than before that I actually wish I could take a nap in here. I forgot that a window in the back is very necessary, otherwise we're not going to be able to see the cars behind us and we might cause an accident. In this space right here, I'm going to add a TV because we need a TV when we go out camping. Otherwise, how are we going to know what's happening out there in the real world? There could be a whole ass zombie apocalypse and we wouldn't know. And that is our little cozy bedside all complete, which means it's time to actually start on our little dining area. We're going to be using these small skinny queen tables here because I don't want to have a really big one that's going to take up all of our space. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose some cute little stools to go with it. I don't think we need too many because I think this camper van barely even fits 2 people in it, so I'm gonna recolor them to kind of match our kitchen. I don't want them to kind of stand out too much for sure. I do feel like this wall is looking a little bit empty, so I might bring in some of the flowers from outside. The other flowers that these previously had don't really fit here, so I'm just gonna add smaller ones. These lavender bushes are so cute and they can even make our camper van smell really good. I think the side of the camper van is pretty much done. I don't think we can add anything else, so I think it's time to work on the driver's side. Okay, so I got these decals right here. I have a steering wheel and then the wheels for the actual car. But I actually have a little problem because I got this other steering wheel that's black and I don't know which one I like the most. Because I feel like the little pink one fits more with the color theme, but I do like that the black one kind of stands out. You know what? I think I'm just gonna go for the black one because it stands out more and I like that. Now that that's decided, we can go back to our wheels. Otherwise, how are we going to move this camper van without these? They might be a little bit too big right now, but it's okay. I'm just going to resize them. I want some in the front, in the middle, and in the back because I think our camper van is kind of heavy, so we're going to need a couple of them. I do think they need to be a little bit more bigger. By the way, these decals that I'm using were already in Bloxburg. All you have to do is search car wheels in the little search thing. But I think that after adding these wheels, we're basically done. I just have to do the same thing to the back.
A few moments later.
Our camper van is finally finished and I want to say that I did an amazing job because this actually made me want to go out camping. Even though I hate camping, going on this cozy van doesn't sound that bad. Although I will say that this van is a little bit pricey because the total plot value came up to $104,000, nearly $105,000. That is a really pricey home, but it's not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. I genuinely thought I was going to be poor after this video. concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed this little camper van built here in Bloxburg, and I certainly want to build more crazy stuff in the future. So tell me down in the comments what you guys think I should build next. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe turn on notifications so you don't miss my next build. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.